Um,
Good evening, YouTube. Welcome to the Reptile Barn. I've been cleaning snakes, and I've noticed a bunch of our female ball pythons showing great progress as far as the breeding season, And I just thought I'd kind of structure this a little bit because I wanted to show you an ovulation and a couple things. So I figured I'd make a video specifically about how to track your female's progression in the breeding season if you don't have an ultrasound machine, right? Now, there are great videos out there on palpating your snakes. I recommend you go look them up. I'm not going to do that in this video because I suck at it. But plus, you can't feel through the video what I'm feeling. It's hard to tell you. You feel the belly and you feel these little bumps. I've done it before and I've felt little bumps, but I can't tell how big they are, which makes it really difficult to know anything. So, without further ado, a female who is big enough and you have started breeding, you've witnessed locks hopefully, now you're trying to tell, is she progressing, is she going anywhere, is she building follicles, right? If you've done your research, you know that these egg-laying snakes, they build follicles. They're not yet fertilized by the male, and once they reach about 40 millimeters, she ovulates. They leave, they travel down the oviduct, and the male's sperm can reach it, and it becomes a fertile ova. But we're trying to figure out what process, what part of the process the female's at. So there's a couple of behavioral signs you can look for, and I want to show you some of them. One of them that's really cool, that you'll see a lot of females do. If my camera woman can get real tall. This is Jelani. She has been soaking a ton, and she doesn't have any skin conditions. She's totally healthy. This is one thing that you're going to want to look for. Many, if not even most females, if given a large enough water bowl, will soak. I think that partly that is because they're trying to keep their body cool. Another thing we're about to talk about is cool seeking. The water bowl we always put towards the front of the cage where it's the coolest, and so they're just trying to keep cool. But also, I feel like they're building these big things inside of them. They're trying to get comfortable. And most of the time, when you're suspended in water, you're lighter. It's just more comfortable. I honestly think that that's part of it too. Another huge sign with your females is when they go off feed. If it's a strong eater that for the first 2 or 3 years you've had it, she eats just like a champion, and then you start to breed her, and in middle of winter or late winter she goes off feed, that's a great sign. That doesn't mean she's going to lay eggs for you necessarily, but usually if they are going to lay eggs, they're going to go off feed at some point in the late winter. So that's a big thing to watch for. It's nothing to worry about. It's in fact a good thing, right? And eventually they're going to get, their eggs inside are going to be so big they can't eat. So it's just natural for them to stop eating at a certain point. Hopefully you've been feeding them really well. They have plenty of fat reserves. They're not going to be overstressed by not eating for several months. So I can't show you, there's a bunch of snakes I could point out that aren't eating, but I can't show you what it looks like to go off feed. You know your snakes, right? Cool seeking. Let's talk about that real quick. I'm trying to look. Most of my females that were cool seeking a month or two ago are now just soaking in their water bowls. But basically, the female will spend the vast majority of her time away from the hot spot. Again, if you don't know your females, if you haven't been watching them and observing them a lot, you might not notice this because it's really just where are they choosing to position themselves in the cage, right? But with our rack system where the heat's in the back, the coolest spot is towards the front of the cage, right? It's probably 80 to 84 degrees in this room. In the back of their cage, it's 92, 93 degrees. So to find the cool spot, they come towards the front. And they'll spend almost all their time there while they're building their follicles, right? This is before they ovulate. So, another great sign to look for. I'm going to see if I have any females doing that at this exact moment. I don't know if we'll luck out or not. No, she's just kind of sitting there. What I'm looking for is a female who is lying inverted, right? Nope, just normal. Basically, you'll start to see your females holding themselves in weird positions. And they don't all do that, and they don't all do that all the time. So it's a little bit hard to catch sometimes, but I'm looking for it just to see if I luck out. There's one in shed. No, I'm not seeing it. But it's real easy to see. You don't have to see it on my video. If you see your snake, your female, it's lying like upside down with her belly up or her belly to the side. Or sometimes they'll kind of contort themselves and you'll see real sharp angles with a big crease in them. That's just, again, maybe it's because they're uncomfortable and it's a little more comfortable to shift positions a lot. I'm not sure exactly why they do that. But that's another great thing to watch for. If the female looks uncomfortable, as sad as that is for her, it's a good sign if you're looking for eggs. The last thing that I want to talk about that I will show you is an ovulation. This is key. You don't have to see it. It's not like if you don't see the ovulation, then she's not going to lay eggs. If the female ovulates, she's going to lay eggs. Doesn't mean they'll all be fertile, but she will lay eggs if she has ovulated. We have a really distinct ovulation that I think will even show up on camera, so I want to show it to you. It's not always this obvious, but with her, look at that. So here's her head. About halfway down her body, right here, it suddenly swells out like a balloon. I'm going to pick her up very gently. I don't want to disturb her too much, but that should be very obvious even on the camera. It's notoriously difficult to spot an ovulation on a camera, even though to your naked eye it's super obvious. It's just absolutely enormous right here. Look at how distended her scales are. If she'll straighten out at all, it's even more obvious. If she'll let you see her. She's super stiff. She's holding herself all funny. She's not pleased, I'm sure, with how this feels. But that is an ovulation. She is, her body is, it looks like she ate a gigantic meal. It's very stiff. She cannot fully bend it right in here. And it only lasts for 12 to 24 hours. So if you don't, again, if you're not observing your animals a lot, you're not going to catch it necessarily. But this means that this female in 45 to 50 days is going to lay eggs. She's locked up 4 or 5 times with the male, so we're golden. She's going to lay. And hopefully they'll all be fertile. She's been absolutely a champion for us. I think 2 years ago she laid like 11 fertile eggs and no slugs, and then last year she laid 10 and no slugs, so she's been awesome. Hopefully we get another big clutch out of her. But the point is, you're watching for that. This is kind of the peak of the breeding season. There's no point in breeding her any longer. She's ovulated. They're either fertile or they're not at this point. So we'll pull her from the rotation. The male does not need to see her anymore. Very excited about this ovulation. This is another het ultramel. Hopefully we'll get some visuals. I know we've had bad luck with visuals in the past. We lost almost an entire clutch one time when the eggs got too wet. Just bad luck so far, but third time's a charm. Another really key thing to watch for, guys, is called glowing. Basically, when your female is pretty close to ovulating, she's usually off feed by this point, she changes color. I mean, she really does. Her shade gets significantly brighter and lighter. It looks almost like a fire version of whatever genetics she is, you know. So let me show you one female. Again, I don't have a before and after picture to show you, but those of you who are familiar with pinstripes, I have a pinstripe that is glowing right now. She looks great, and you may be able to tell on camera that she just looks brighter than a normal pinstripe. This is Zuit. She's just gorgeous right now. Nice and bright. So this is a very good indicator that she's going to lay. It's not 100%. Again, only an ovulation means she's going to lay eggs. But if they glow, they usually go, is what they say, right? So this is a good sign. This is something else to watch for. If you come in, you know, a couple days in a row and you're like, man, this snake just doesn't look the same. This female, I swear, is a different female. It's not. It's the same female. She's just glowing. So that's another thing for you to watch for. So hopefully something in there was helpful to some of you. Again, this is all information you can find in other videos or in articles online. There's nothing new here, but And I wish I could have shown you a snake inverting herself. It's really interesting to watch how they contort themselves when they're trying to get comfortable, or whatever it is they're trying to do. But yeah, so those are all signs you can look for. If you don't have an ultrasound machine, you're not good at palpating, or you're not confident that you're feeling correctly. I'm certainly not. Some people do it and it's easy for them. I've been trying for 5 years now and I I can't get it. But that's okay. Yeah, so hopefully we will get lots more ovulations. We're doing really well. I think 3 or 4 snakes have ovulated. We've got 3 clutches in the incubator. So should be a good year for us. Hopefully all you out there who are breeding are also having a great year. So thank you for watching. Until next time, we're the Reptile Barn.